Developed by Outer Loop Games, Falcon Age is a PS4 exclusive title that sees you taking on the role of Falcon Mama and Robot Basher. Not a combination that comes together often, but one I'm super cool to take up.
I mean, who wouldn't? You play as Sarangarai, a young woman imprisoned in a correctional facility, and one of the few humans still living on this dying world.
It's during one of many days of reorientation practice and manual labour that a ray of light shines through the clouds, in the form of an orphaned baby falcon. After escaping the prison, falcon and baton in hand, you're introduced to Auntie, who honestly at first I thought attacked me. But no, thankfully just removed a tracker with a knife slash. Thanks, Auntie.
Yeah, she's a scary one, and not just with a blade. Through her, you're given some insight into what's been happening over the past few years since the colonizers arrived. Robots sent by the Outer Ring Company, or ORC, mine the land of its resources and have been taking the inhabitants off-world to work and be obedient citizens. All that stands between the ORC and total planet control is you, your Falcon, and a handful of Resistance members. No pressure.
Before any of that though, Sarangarai has to learn to bond with and take care of her new feathered friend. And this is easily my favourite part of the game. When perched on your arm, you can play with your Falcon, feed her, pet her, or do whatever this is. In combat, you can send her to attack prey or predator from the air, which is equal parts hilarious and terrifying.
Yeah, I'd hate to be the robot that crosses her path, and many do try. The main objective you're given is to destroy the refineries that are polluting the air. There were a few fights that felt pretty sloppy. Running into the area with my Falcon circling, getting pummeled with darts while I frantically bashed droids and deactivated machines. Part of that was just me finding my flow, but even when I got in a grasp on the controls, it all kind of felt half-baked.
Yeah, I was feeling that too. For the most part, I kept her on my arm, as she has no real preservation instincts and would often fly right into turret fire if I let her go, which meant I couldn't control her until I could get a chance to heal her up again. There was also a fair bit of delay between my instructions and her attacks, sometimes flying off in the other direction entirely. I love the idea of going into battle with your Falcon side by side, but this felt more like I was wrangling a squawking sibling in a grocery store, just running into everything.
Yeah, and as pretty as that grocery store is, it has a fair few bugs. Textures popping in and out and sudden jarring changes in lighting were technical issues we run into frequently. It's not the be-all and end-all, but it did take me out of the moment, and the story itself was pretty lacking. There's a lot of interesting threads that just go nowhere, like Sarangarai's long-lost mother popping back up out of the blue, only to flash some pictures of cats and take off, or Auntie getting taken away by ORC just for her to nag you when you come to rescue her and return home.
If your main focus here is just to play with a cute Falcon, there is the option to play without combat in imprint mode, and both modes offer full PlayStation VR support. In VR, you can play with the Move controllers, which allows you to pet your Falcon by hand, as well as swing your baton if you want that extra level of immersion. I personally, though, didn't think they handled as well as using a controller, but I like that you're given the option. But we should wrap this up. Final thoughts, Will?
Falcon Age, I feel, tries to do a lot with a single idea, that is playing with your Falcon, but it never comes together to feel rewarding. Enemies are more annoying than threatening, and the combat feels like a roll of the dice rather than a test of skill. I'm giving it 2 out of 5 rubber chickens.
I would have gladly sat down for 4 hours and played a Falcon version of Nintendogs. Easy. Give me a Falcon handler simulator any day of the week. But Falcon Age tries to be more than that. It never quite takes flight. So I'm giving it 2.5 out of 5 rubber chickens. Here, Bazooki. Come here, girl. Bazooki.